the main thing I want to talk about, and it's so interesting that this performance happened during the week. There was some content that was going through Instagram Reels and TikTok. If you haven't seen it, it's a guy comparing old school wingers, where wingers just always used to beat the man, to wingers nowadays in the mode of, i.e., Jack Grealish, for example, or Jadon Sancho, where they square up a defender and instead of taking him on, they go back and pass it back to the
Yeah.
left back or left centre mid. Jeremy Doku, man, he's bringing back the feeling. What do you think of Jeremy Doku's performance? Because I've only seen him in the Euros, and in the Euros he was amazing. I heard a stat on Match of the Day. He attempted the most take on and
Yeah.
completed in League One. And that's in the same league as Kylian Mbappe. Messi was in that league as well, even though I know it's an older Messi. What do you think of wingers like Jeremy Doku, and I might add in that same ilk, Vinicius Junior, Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, wingers that when they get the ball, the first thing they want to do is run at you. Do you prefer
Basically,
those type of wingers, or do you prefer the wingers that, I'm not saying like Jadon Sancho, wingers who the first thought is I need to retain the ball, which I don't think is bad as well.
one
But
thing I would say is that I just like my wingers to make shit happen. And that's what I'm referring to. You can be slow, but you can make stuff happen with how you dribble. You can be fast, but you better use it to make stuff happen. You can be skillful, but you better make sure you're making things happen. One thing people misconstrue is, yeah, because the players do nice skills, they think he's silky. Like, look at Anthony, the way he tricked the masses. I don't know how he tricked you idiots. That's a good winger, yeah. But because he did a little step over, that little dumbass spinning does, you guys were like, yeah, Joga Benito. That stuff don't mean anything to me. Look back in the archives, Ronaldinho. Look at his stats. He didn't just make it look good. He made stuff happen, and people have forgotten that when they say, "Oh, the beautiful game." Those OG guys here put up numbers, or they were influential in how their team played. All these pretenders nowadays here doing nice flicks and shit, and they don't even move their fullback. What's that? And you got aesthetic merchants and saying, "Oh my god, look at the aura." Main thing, wingers just need to make stuff happen. That's what I need from a winger. I don't care if you're fast. I don't care if you're slow. I don't care if you're not the. I don't care if you're not the most skillful. But your job as a winger, make stuff happen. I don't care how you do it. But one thing I want to reiterate is people try to reference all the old school wingers, but they made stuff happen in the final third. Some may have not had the numbers to match, i.e. Ryan Giggs, but he made stuff happen. Ronaldinho that people love so much, talking about amazing. Ronaldinho today wouldn't get his flowers. Of course he'll get his flowers if he was playing today. Look at his stats. He made stuff happen. He put up numbers. So people should always remember the old school wingers they love so much here, they had the aesthetics and the numbers to match. And certain men that are getting love nowadays, yeah, all all scores no substance. Your Ben Arthurs, your Ardit Raps didn't put no numbers up. They just look nice. That's why it's like so Vinny, Martinelli, Saka, your Doku. Okay. Doku, you're less than example because he's had the injury hit last 2 years. But my point remains the
and he's
same.
and he's and he's still young, so let him
Yeah,
build up his body
yeah.
up. Let's
The
not
main thing
hype
is,
him up too much. But the way he plays, I
yeah,
like.
the main thing is that these players make stuff happen, and that's what we need from a winger fan. If they make stuff happen, eventually the numbers will speak for themselves.
No, I fully agree in terms of wingers need to make things happen. I feel like that's a general term with the wingers around the world. Because if you look like wingers like Bernardo Silva, even him yesterday when he was playing out wide, when Foden came off, even though he's not the fastest, he was making stuff happen. Look at the goal that he scored. That literally came from him playing one twos
And
with
Burnley on the fullback.
Alvarez. He didn't beat anyone, he didn't shimmy anyone, but he was playing penetrative passes. So I fully agree with that. But I feel like players like Bernardo Silva, the one in a million that succeed in the Premier League. Because I feel in the Premier League, as a winger, you need explosiveness. That's why most of the successful, dangerous, threatening wingers are explosive. Of
Even,
course,
even look at Pires, a guy we usually forgetting when we talk about Premier League wingers. He was the first winger in the Premier League area to start putting up to match his performances and ability with numbers. He pieced it all together. One of the first Premier League wingers to do it.
he was also one of the first wingers alongside David Ginola that was a winger that was playing on the opposite side of his strong foot, and he's then too brought in like the inverted wingers. Then we got inside forward, but for people who are asking how come I'm not mentioning Salah, Salah of course is a winger, but I look at him more in the ilk as an inside forward because you see him going into spaces.
Even a young Salah, yeah, young Salah had
Oh no
eyes
no
for the
no,
game.
yeah,
Had eyes for the game. People shouldn't what should the tapes was at Basel, fam? The game that made Chelsea bang. Go watch the tapes. Yeah, but saying from Salah, people need to understand he's one of the best wingers ever, fam, and he's better than Hazard. I'm just putting out there. Premier League history, yeah, will look at Salah more favorably. Just saying.
I'll, yeah, I'll say if you're looking back in terms of history, Salah definitely over Hazard. And in terms of best wingers in Premier League history, it's hard to put a winger above Mo Salah, if I'm being honest. In terms
Top
of
two
him,
is CR7 and Salah.
I'll say he's top one. I'll say he's top one. People might say, "Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo." How can you say he's better than Cristiano Ronaldo? I'll make it clear. Cristiano Ronaldo, his short stint, Salah has not matched. Or the season where he won the Ballon d'Or and the Premier League and Champions League double, but Ronaldo had 3 really good years in the Premier League, and it was enough for him to be in the top two best wingers in the Premier
Yeah,
League. Salah's been doing this since 2017, year in, year out. His lowest scoring season in the Premier League was
19,
19 goals. Last season, which was a season that was not good,
19 goals, 12 assists.
bro, he was one of two players alongside Bukayo Saka that had a double double. So with Mo Salah, he's putting up numbers, he's putting up performances, he's putting up goals, he's putting up assists, and he's doing this year in, year out. Yes, I might say I'm not a stats guy, but you always have to give people who put in stats, who put up good stats consistently. You have to put them in high regard. And look, he's about to crack the top 20 very soon.
100 club.
He's about to crack the 100 club, and he's going to be one of three players.
Hasn't Salah got 100 league goals, but he's about to crack like the top 20 top
Yeah,
scorers.
the top 20, and he's going to be one of three players that have cracked the numbers that needed to be in the top 20 in less than 300 games in Premier League history. So
Crazy.
look, for me, people might think I'm being biased, but bro, this guy is amazing. You saw what he did against Wolves, 3 assists, like three.
Like, also, people were saying like it was off day for Salah, fam, but still
Yeah,
making stuff happen.
exactly. It was an off day for Salah. If you were to ask me who are our best players, I wouldn't put Salah in the top three best players for us in that game. So now, in terms of wingers, the general consensus for me is I'm happy that Doku is doing what he's doing, because as good as I think Jack Grealish improved, I don't think he's a left winger,
He's a
but
10.
I prefer the way players like Jeremy Doku play on the wing compared to Jack Grealish. Kufal had a horrid game. And I don't mean horrid in terms of he was horrible. I mean horrid in terms of every time Doku got the ball, he got skin and there was nothing he can do
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna lie, yeah, Kufa, yeah. Anytime you got a fast one against Kufa, yeah, he's then eating up, bro. Like, like,
Well, look, it's the composition
fam,
of the body.
I watch for stamina sometimes, yeah, but if you've got a pace winger, yeah, Kufa ain't doing nothing, fam. He's having a
Nah,
horrid game, regardless. Yeah,
yeah,
it is what
true.
it is, fam. He's getting touched.
And Pep made sure to take advantage of that weakness. But nah, I just wanted to have that small segment on wingers because I'm happy that he's bringing back the feeding, and I feel like wingers like Saka, Martinelli, Vinny, Mbappe when he plays their Doku. I want more wingers like that in top teams. Rafael, Leao, Kvaratskhelia. So I feel like they make the game more exciting. If you have
But,
a
yeah,
wing,
but Kabish out of form though. Last 6 months, 1 goal contribution. Not looking good. Another white you to put ahead of Saka, fam. Well, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm
this
watching closely.
guy, bro, this guy, you're coming for any winger that they put up against Saka in it, apart from
If you
Salah.
don't,
Can't come
if you
for
don't put apart from Salah, yeah, if you're gonna say so and so is better than Saka, yeah,
you
your
mean you
guy,
mean right you mean right winger in it?
yeah.
Oh,
To be fair, Kibicha is the left wing, so I don't know why they were trying to use Kibicha to shit on Saka. But anyway, if you're gonna come against Saka, yeah, make sure your guy got a run of games doing madness. So when has Saka ever gone a 6 month what's the word? Goals for 6 months. Kibicha's been goals for 6 months for club and country. And it irks me that he got player of the year over Osimhen, fam.
yeah, nah, that did irk me. I felt like Osman should have, even
Black
in
man doing all the hard work and just for a white man to take credit, fam. Racismo.
before we finish, just a casual question. Top five wingers in the world. What are you saying?
Right wingers on both sides.
Oh, top five wingers, just wingers in
It's
general.
overall for both sides.
Well,
Obviously, New is Mbappe, fam.
huh?
Mbappe, fam. Number one.
He's number one in wingers, is number one in the world, but that's
Yeah.
another story.
Salah second because obviously second to Mbappe, fam. It's not a bad thing. Mbappe is just crazy, fam. That
That
almost stole the World Cup away from Messi, you know.
bro, I that top two, I agree with. I agree with the order.
Third, fourth can be filled up by Vini and Saka.
Yeah, I'll say in that order as well.
Yeah, because Vini's done in Champions League longer. He's actually done stuff in Champions League, scored a winning Champions League goal. So that Champions League excuse here works with Vini, fam, because he's actually been performing. He's not just been a passenger in Champions League, yeah, like Foden has. But anyway,
And he's also had back-to-back 2020s.
yeah, back to back 2020s. Fifth, actual wingers, fam. I'll keep it at four, you know.
Fair. Well, my top four: Mbappe number one, best player in the world. Salah number two. Then for me is Vinny number three. For me, like they're the top three
Yeah.
set, and then 4 Saka, and then closely followed by Saka, closely Rafael Leao. That'll be my top 5.
Oh yeah, fair. Also, before the one says mentions Rodrigo, yeah, he's a second striker.
It's,
Rodrigo
it's
is not a winger.
it's not even that. I personally don't think Rodrigo has done enough for me to be saying that he's top 5 personally.
No. Certain romantics will try to come and talk rubbish because Rodrigo looks good in the ball. I'm not saying he's bad. He's a good
Like
player, but he's not a winger, fam. Like he's not comfortable on the wing. He's better in the pockets, in and around the striker.